Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK. And I've got my copy of the January to June 2021 mini catalogue to show you. Well, I can't show you. I can show you the outside, but I'm not allowed to show you the inside. But I can show you what I've already received. And if you read my blog, then you may already have seen this card that I have used the suite that is featured on the front of the mini catalogue to create this card. So I've used the designer series paper, this particular design, and I used the art gallery stamp and the coordinating dies. So these dies, they have a lovely big one that I haven't used yet. Oh dear, it doesn't want to come off and I don't want to. There we go. So it says, just want to say, and then there's lots of things that you could be saying. Just want to say happy birthday, I miss you, congratulations, good luck, sorry, thank you, best wishes. You are lovely, I'm thinking of you. So beautiful little sentiments and that coordinate with that, but also there are two dies. Now this isn't full size, but there are two that fit into those and they are beautiful. They're kind of like a postage stamp edge to them. Really lovely. So I've yet to use those, but I think they'll be getting quite a lot of use, to be perfectly honest. And these are 2-step or even 3-step stamping, so I did the 3 steps on that just to try and tie in with the designer series paper there. And you've got dies that will cut out the larger flower, this one and this arrangement there as well, and also one to coordinate with that leaf stamp. So I did use that, but I only cut out part of it just to have one little leaf there. And the other thing that's in the suite is that gorgeous ribbon. So let me just put the stamps and the dies to the side. The ribbon is beautiful. It is there's a gorgeous sort of gold shimmer right the way through, so I think that'll be getting plenty of use as well. Nice and soft ribbon as well, but stiff enough so that you can just have little bits like that added to your card just for a bit of a wow factor. The other thing that I've used on there is this painted texture 3D embossing folder. So with 3D embossing folders, you don't just get a high and a low, you get different depths to it as well, which really does give a very authentic look, as if you'd put some kind of material on with a palette knife or something like that to build up. Beautiful, beautiful papers. So this is the design that I used. So the papers are called Fine Art Floral, and I've given you another sneaky peek there. So that was the one that I used. The other side of it is this, kind of like a mosaic with a wash over it. Beautiful. I'm going to use this for my next project. And again, a nice, more subtle, that you could combine your bold patterns with your subtle. So these are pieces of art that have been created by Stampin' Up designers and then have been photographed, and the paper is produced from the photograph. So absolutely stunning, and you really do feel that it should be textured, but obviously it's perfectly smooth. gorgeous. Love that as well. This one is lovely. Nice, fun, bright colours on that one. Just what we need at the start of the year to brighten us up again. Beautiful. Love those. I love the blues in the background to that one, and the flowers really kind of stand out on that one for me. So, but it's one of those ones that you don't really want to chop. It's so pretty, so I might have to buy another pack just to keep because it's gorgeous. Beautiful. Really love the textural look to that. And lots of lovely wash texture on that. You really do see the brush strokes on that. Gorgeous. Now this one is stunning on its own, but when you combine it with the Golden Garden Designer Speciality Acetate, you get three sheets in this pack. So there's that one, which well, you're obviously probably just going to get a view of my light more than anything else. So you could chop that one up, would be beautiful. This one, again, gorgeous. Chop that one up, and then this one, which ties in beautifully when you layer it over that sheet of designer series paper. It matches and gives a beautiful gold accent to that paper as well. I think that is far too nice to chop up. It's such a quandary. But you could make a beautiful piece of home decor using that, and I think that might be what I decide to do with that one. We shall see. Watch this space. So I'm going to make another little project to coordinate with this card. Just a little gift box for a small lip balm. Let me clear this up and I will come back to you and show you what we're going to make next. Thank you. Okay, so I've decided that I'm going to use this designer series paper with some petal pink card, which for some reason always shows as if it's more kind of yellow on camera than it is pink, but believe me, it is actually pink. So the box is for this lip balm, which is actually quite a slim one. So my box size will be just 3/4 of an inch around. So I'm going to cut this piece of card to 4 3/4 inches. So it's already 4 3/4, and I want it to be 3 1/2. Okay, use that bit for something. And my designer series paper will be 2 1/2 inches. So I'm just going to cut a panel of that, but they will only be 1/2 inch wide. So I'll just do those quickly as well. So we're not going to use a huge amount of paper on this box, and I think that might be a theme with this paper, because the card that I just showed you, I didn't use an awful lot of paper on that one either, but it has such a big impact that you don't need to use a huge amount of it. Okay, oh, I don't know what I did there. Distracted and did 1/4 inch instead of 1/2 inch. something like that. So we've got my little pieces of paper that we need, and I've got my card, and I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. And I'm going to score this along the long side, so that's your 4 3/4 side, and I'm going to do that at 3/4 of an inch and 3.5 inches, and then 4 1/4. Nearly missed one. Okay, turn that around, and I'm going to do that at 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches, 2 1/4, and 3 inches. So you've got 3/4 of an inch on your 4 panels and a 1/2 inch panel, just to secure that. Let me bring in my bone folder and reinforce that. Okay, now those will fit in along there. Okay, but first I am going to do a little bit of snipping. So cut straight up the bottom panels there, and you can chop out that one there. Okay, didn't quite cut that far enough. There we are. And we're going to chop those 2 top skinny panels out there and just wedge into that bit. So we're only leaving that bit so that we can use that to attach on there. Okay, and again, just cut straight, but this time you're doing 2 panels straight down those there. Okay, so with your skinny panel to attach at the side there, you want to leave that one. The next one you want to cut in half and wedge into that. Okay, this one here you want to take out completely. Okay, and this one you want to do the same with that one and cut in half and wedge it. You could perhaps be a bit more consistent with your wedging than me. Here we go. Okay, so you're left with that. Final little bit is just to wedge that little bit at the top there too. And that's the shape that you want to have. Okay, I want to add my panels of Designer Series paper, and then I can add glue to that to make my box. Now, actually, what I'm going to do is wedge into the 2 side panels. So the ones that where you've got it half cut at the top there, also wedge those ones. So those are the side ones, and it just leaves a little less bulk for your base. Just chopping out that score line as well. Okay, so left with that, let's just add our designer series paper. So this bit's going to be the front. So I'm going to put the bit with the most pattern showing on the front there. So we make the most of it. Okay. And this bit's not got an awful lot of design of the floral design on it, so I'll put that one at the back. Okay, so some glue on there. Just give that a little burnish. And you fold in your two sides, fold in the back and then the front down. Doesn't need to have glue on each layer because it's not holding anything terribly heavy. It's just that little lip balm fits in perfectly, just like that. Now, I haven't actually thought any further than that about decorating it. I think it might be rather nice to have some of this gorgeous ribbon on it, and to perhaps stamp one of those smaller sentiments. How about thank you? Always nice to give somebody a little gift as a thank you. That's our thank you stamp. Photopolymer, so you can easily layer up the ones that need layering. I think I'm going to stick with Fairy Vanilla. Scrap of that there. And I will go Flirty Flamingo, I think. No, Petal Pink. Petal Pink. This is the design process at its best. Make it up as you go along. So I've just stamped thank you there. Do you know what? I'm now thinking, did I use Petal Pink or did I? I think it's Petal Pink. Oops. Right, we'll try and edit out that disaster. Maybe. Yeah, it is Petal Pink. You not get yet that point where you really just don't trust yourself anymore. I'm past that today. Okay, so I'm going to use this lovely little die to cut that out. Bear with me a moment and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've had a little bit of a play about, as well as cutting out the thank you with the smaller die, I used the scrap of card I had from earlier on with the longer die. Now they're not any wider, it is just simply longer. So I've chopped out a bit in the middle, and what I'm going to do is just extend the edges of this by layering it up so that you've got a little bit of the pink at either end. Just as an extra little detail. And the little grooves make it nice and easy for you to line that up there. As long as you don't move it again before you've actually got the glue to set. There we go. So yeah, I've just got a tiny little gap there, but not bothered about that. And I think I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm now beginning to regret putting most of the pattern on there. I maybe should have done it on the side, because it's going to get covered. Just a little bit, oops. Just a little bit longer. There we go. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape on there. I thought for a second that my tearing tape was through in the other room, but it's not, it's here. It's good. So a little bit of tearing tape. This is the front, yeah. As I say, I think if I was doing another one, I would, if I had a piece that had less pattern, I would probably put that on the front because it's going to get covered up. And mini dimensionals. Now I don't actually have any of the dimensionals left on this bit. I'm just going to chop a couple of little bits from the edge to pop on there. And pop that in there. So there we have it. Cute little box with a little lip balm inside as a nice little thank you gift for a friend, which you could also give them because you miss them. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. There will be a link to my blog post below, which will have all of the measurements for the box, and I will have a list of the current products available to buy in my description bar below as well. And if I remember, once the products go live on the 5th of January 2021, I will come back and I'll update the list of products so that you can shop for those with me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.